didn't take that long. I might have, but I have no idea.
Well, we could do. I think we should do when we do this segment. We should definitely have him in here for that.
Oh yeah.
And then of course the interview with him. But so do you want to do our intro, like what we've been up to first then?
Yeah, like a little intro and then talk about what's been up.
Let me turn my phone off. He said it hasn't been 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, why is my alarm going off at 11:30? I've been awake for about 7 hours.
Oh, that's gross. No.
Alright. Oh, I guess I should turn on the other one also.
I guess I should probably,
Have that going.
It's fine. We'll figure it out. It'll be okay.
Good old metronome.
It does. Metronome every time.
Alright, just ready. Go.
Ready, set, go.
Yep. And 3, 2,
Blast.
And welcome back to Tag Along with Josh. I'm your host, Josh McIntosh. I'm here with my co-host.
And I'm Bree. Hello. Like the cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, like the cheese without the E. You drop the E. Brie cheese. Now you'll never forget that.
Oh, I never thought about it that way, but all right, yeah.
It's okay, because my business partner's name is Colby, too.
Yeah,
so, we're just cheese friends. Anyway, welcome.
Right. That's a great way to start the show. You gotta come up with a next joke next time. You gotta keep me going.
I can do that. I can do that.
I mean, it's the first episode. You gotta do it every episode now.
Every wow. I set myself up, didn't I?
Hey, you keep going. Yeah, this is episode 1, so let's go.
Wait, okay, well now I have a question.
Yeah.
What happened to the episode that we did last week?
That's episode 0.
Oh.
That's episode 0.
Okay, it's episode 0.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we were starting with invisible numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one was just like explaining this is the actual show.
Oh, this is the real deal.
This is the show. We're locked in now.
Locked and loaded.
Yes.
All right, I'll let you take it away now.
Right? Yeah. Well, I guess I was going to just go right back in to ask you how's your week been.
Oh, man.
So right back at you.
He boomeranged that shit. He said, "No, I'm going to bring it back to you." No, I've had a pretty good week. I've been taking some time off to game a little bit.
Okay, what you been playing?
I've been playing some Far Cry 6.
Far Cry, okay.
Love the Far Cry series.
I mean, it's so great.
And let me tell you, man, the thing about Far Cry, if you've never played Far Cry, they throw you to the wolves immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. No tutorial. You just go. You're in there.
And I forgot what game was it that you can just say no and then it just ends the game for you. Was that 5?
5, yeah, because you're arresting the cult leader. Yeah. And you can choose not to cuff him. And I remember at the time, my fiance at the time was like, "Babe, just don't," because he introduced me to the series. He said, "Babe, don't arrest him." And I was like, "Russell, you don't understand. Every fiber in my moral being cannot allow this man to be let free." I could never do the alternate ending, but from my understanding, basically, there's it's the same thing in Far Cry 6 as well, that you can just go on a boat and leave the little island of Yara and just say fuck off. And then you watch in the news that basically the El Presidente takes over everything, and you're sitting on a beach somewhere near America not my problem.
And I probably have to put spoiler warnings on that part.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And
my bad.
They probably saw it beforehand.
Oh,
and
my bad.
And where editor Josh will get that.
Yeah, that's his job.
My job later.
I've also been playing some Alice Madness Returns. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. So they started with, it's a very small niche kind of indie company. It's called Spicy Horse. But they had an old school American McGee's Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Very I think early 90s type of technology. I don't know when it actually came out, but it gives me the old school 90s almost Nintendo 64 vibe whenever you're playing it. But the second one, the sequel to it, oh, I hit my mic. Sorry. The sequel to it is Alice Madness Returns. So I've been playing that, and then every once in a while I'll play some Stardew.
No Stardew.
Yeah, really love good. It's a great cozy game.
Yeah, I play that every once in a while just to see. Just to see how far I can get on like a random without one random resource, just to go back and forth with. Like I love Stardew so much.
Well, they did. I don't know if you've played it on the PC, but they recently added some updates and stuff to the game on PC. So like, there's new events throughout the year. There's like a bookseller. There's like a raccoon. I love that game because it's like the perfect combination of, hey, I'm just a little farmer trying to make it in life with all this magical, mystical stuff. There's like a wizard, and he's got a whole complicated relationship with his wife.
Yeah, the giant melon. I remember that. That's my favorite part. Just getting
whenever you like grow a bunch of you can do that with melons, cauliflowers, and pumpkins. Yeah. And on my farms with my friends, I am the organizer. I am the everything needs to be in a row or in a little plot. We have a sign here, and all of my chests are like color coordinated, and my friend is chaos.
That is me to a T. I just I put stuff down and it's out. It's like I gotta mass produce these vegetables, get them in and out. It's just
that's why we all have dump boxes on our porch. Like we need to give each other stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna go through your chaos. We're just gonna put it in your dump box and we'll get there. What about you? What have you been up to this week?
Yes, I just came back from Virginia Beach. I was at a Superstar Anime.
I thought you also didn't you just go to like Chicago or something?
Oh yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
This man travels way more than I do. In like, you travel more than I do in a month, or in a month you travel more than I do in like a year.
The funny thing is, I have to go to Chicago again in 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
And then Magic's this week.
Oh my gosh. All right, so where did you say you ended up going over this last week?
Virginia
Beach.
Yes. The funny thing is that I was probably like 2 blocks away from the beach. Didn't actually go.
You didn't go to the beach? Were you there for like a con or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were working.
It was the con was like a 2-day one. It's a pretty good one for a first year of it. No, second year.
Second year.
I'm pretty sure, but it was really good though. I was like, I met some good people. I got to go around, cause a lot of people in that area I don't get to see a lot, so I got to get some art from them and stuff, and got some good signatures into the big the time capsule. I made a whole bunch of artists, and they put something in the book here. That is actually some book here.
Do you have just a book of artists? Because I kind of love that. If that's what you're talking about.
Did I? I guess I didn't bring it with me, but yes. Yes, I'll show it off later.
We have vendor friends that do the same thing. Like they'll have, it's funny, they have a book where when they find different artists at conventions, what they'll do is they'll have each artist draw the same thing that they ask for, but you get to see it in all different types of styles, which is really cool.
Mine is just kind of either they put a sticker or a little drawing in it, and it's just and then put a little, either a quote or something if they want to put a message to me or sort of a random quote. But people have just been putting funny stuff in it and then drawing and stuff, and it's become really fun. I get to see a lot of cool styles.
Yeah, it's a fun little memory too.
And I'm just gonna do a big video at the end of the year showing that off. It's gonna be on this channel too. But I was wanted to check that. I thought it'd just be really fun to do.
Yeah. And it's a really good way to especially if they give their signature. It's a really good way to look back at certain artists, especially if you have someone come to you and be like, hey, I want this done. And you're like, well, okay, that's not really my style, but I've got someone for you. It's a great way because I'm really bad when it comes to leaving conventions of just shutting my brain off for a couple of days. And then I forget all of the people, the wonderful, amazing people that I've met. I have several stacks of business cards in my office drawer somewhere, so that anytime I need to pull out a business card, I'm like, I remember that vendor from 2 years ago at this convention. But yeah, conventions are definitely a lot of fun. So I gotta ask you, do you man your own booth?
Yes, I am the only person at my booth.
Wow.
And I have to
that's difficult.
And then I'm also doing all the recordings. At times people will be like, I came by your booth, but you weren't there. It's like,
Yeah, I gotta take a break every once in a while because it's just me.
Yes, like I like do that. Like so, it's usually like during VIP hours, I usually go around and like see the stuff and try to record it, and then like after VIP hours and let like I contact the people that are like around my booth. Like, if anybody like anyone there waiting, like no, okay, cool. I'm gonna spend 5 more minutes wandering around and getting video.
Right.
And or like towards the end of the convention, I would try to like go talk to the celebrities or something, or like try to get like more interviews with artists.
Because sometimes depending on the vibe, you can always kind of skip out like an hour early. It starts to die down like a couple hours before the closing of the event.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. I can man my booth by myself, but it's just a lot of work.
I mean, yeah, it is a lot of work.
You just have a little sign, be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, just like just BRB, don't even give them a time really.
You know what? That's fair because not only do they not know when you left, they don't know when you're coming back either. Yeah. So how are they going to count 15 minutes? Yeah. Plus, then if it says 15 minutes, and then they're like, "Hey, I've been waiting here 25." Yeah. My bad.
It's like it's just so funny because like I literally just like the person next to me just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be right back." And it's like, okay, I don't like. They just look at me like, I know you kinda, but you're just leaving me in charge of your table.
Yeah, that's why you get to know your vendor neighbors. Yeah. Like. You have to always feel a vibe out too, because sometimes vendor neighbors are.
Oh yeah.
There's certain vendors that they like to stick to themselves. And they don't ever talk to anybody, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, why are you here?
Yeah. It's literally just
the whole point is that you have to sell your stuff, and you kind of have to talk to people in order to do that.
It's funny, but I do get it. Most artists are introverted. That's kind of how artists become artists to begin with.
Yeah, that's
but it's just
true.
I am an introvert. I 100%, but I fake it whenever
until you make it.
Yeah, like I just pretend to be an extrovert, at the conventions. Like I am usually like in in a hoodie in my art dungeon, like just drawing for about. I wouldn't consider it a room because like it's literally the only thing that makes it a room is a bed. But I have like 2 different art stations. I have the construction desk where I like to lay out stuff and like look at products that's under like a big light. And I have my computer desk that has like my brand new computer, and it's like a super long desk so I can actually draw on too.
Oh, cool.
Like so it's like it has like a drawing section, and it has like the actual like physical drawing section too there. So it's just like all that like space to, like for that. I'm like, this is literally just a home studio that I just happen to have a bed in.
Right.
It's no longer, and then like I have like all my printers around that, and then I have like a shelving that it just has paper. There's nothing else there but paper, and then I have my clothes just piled up behind the wall that is just like blocked off to like look at like just to display other art. So just like I make shit to the wall to hide the clothes I just don't want to I don't want to like fold and put up. So like
I'm glad that you said that you have several workstations because I'm the same way. So I have my own home, and I recently just got a housemate, and she lives downstairs because like it's basically a whole other like small kind of apartment feel downstairs, like your own bathroom and everything like that. But upstairs there is like a sunroom on the back of my house, and whenever Russ and I did the walkthrough, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is gonna be my room. You don't know it yet. Like, this is mine now. You have a whole garage to yourself. This is my room. And we didn't gut it, but we painted the walls. We tore up the carpet, and we put like, not real hardwood down, but fake hardwood. But it still looks really nice. But I have that whole room. And I have a futon in there that was given to me by a friend. So if I feel like taking a nap in my studio, I can. I pretty much like live in there sometimes. I have like a little workbench for on one side acrylics, oils on the other side. I have like so many different shelves of all sorts of different materials that I need. Like, you could basically go shopping in my studio if you needed to. He made me like this pegboard that he hung up on the wall. So like I have all of my oils and acrylics hung up and they're color coded. So it's in the beautiful rainbow. And I've got my craft paints up there, and I've got plants everywhere. But like I have another area in my house that's kind of in my office now, where I have an older art table that I've had for years, and so like all of my watercolor stuff is that in there, and I have my computer in there so that whenever I do watercolor classes, like everything's just ready to go. Like I bounce around, and sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll just like draw in bed because I don't want to go anywhere else.
Might as well. Like that's what I do. like shoot, I have because I have a computer desk, and right behind it, I have that bed down there. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I just turn I have these 360 mounts, so I literally just turn them around.
Oh, that's cool.
You grab the desk and put it lay it down. Like I'm over laying sideways and drawing, looking at the screen. I'm just like, you know what? Might as well
watch TV while I draw. Like why not? Might as well.
No one's gonna stop me.
Right, I'm staying productive. I'm just being a little lazy about it.
I love it. Like it's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to have that accessibility in your house, because I remember when we lived out at my dad's house, I had a small space to create, but I shared it in like a living room, and I shared it with a whole business, and so like it was smaller than this area, I believe, like maybe half this table, and I had everything basically around me, and I like entrapped myself. So now I have this nice open free area where I've got giant canvases over here, and I got smaller canvases over there.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere.
Honestly,
just
like
projects everywhere.
Honestly, it's like having a big space to actually do art is like way better.
It's so nice. It's so nice because then you can work on several pieces, at once. Because like I don't know about you, I'm the kind of person that like I will. It's not that I get bored easy. It's just like sometimes I'll get to a good stopping point where I'm like, okay, if I go any further, I'm gonna F this up, or I just don't know where to go from here. Sometimes it's like I know that there's something that needs to be fixed, and I can't quite figure out what that is, and that drives me insane. Oh, yeah. It's the worst, especially when I'm doing anything to do with, I won't necessarily say portraiture, but like portraiture-esque, like I'll draw humans and stuff like that. It is a nightmare to try to figure out, like, something's off. And faces are one of those that if you are just the slightest amount off, it throws the whole thing off.
Yes.
So you're like trying to sit here figuring it out. So I like to bounce from like that. If I'm done with okay, I'm done with a piece, I'm gonna go work on this, because I still have the energy to keep going. Like I still want to create, because I used to be able to create for like 7, 8, 10 hours in a row. Now it's cut down. I can, unless I'm in a really, really good vibe, I can, work for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. But I find that I work longer if I bounce between pieces.
Yes.
And layers. And that way it also gives me a fresh start to like, okay, I'll come back to this. I'm gonna go work on something else where I know what my next step is for that piece. And then I kind of go from there.
Yeah. I feel that because I can't I used to be able to like draw for like 8-10 hours at a time, but it's like now it has to be, if I draw for a long period of time now, I have to switch projects. I can't I can't working on fan art for like that long anymore.
Yeah.
For some reason I just get bored of it. So and then I have to go work on a comic book or something.
Yeah.
So like if I like switch over to a comic book, or work on like something for like the original the art book or something. So work on it like a different type of project. I can be on the same pace, and I go for that like for a good 15 minutes and go right back to the thing I was working on before. It's like a reset, not a reset.
Yeah. And you take breaks from pieces and go work on other pieces, because I'm the same way. Like right now, I think we wanted to talk a little bit about like what projects we have going on right now. But I've got, I don't know, probably about 8 to 10 different things that I'm working on right now. Like I've got this. I've got a friend who's commissioning me for some like D&D artwork.
Okay.
But I've also got different things that I'm working on emotionally too. So that plays really huge into a lot of the work that I do, is that like sometimes I'm just not in the mood to work on a commission because my head isn't in the space for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes my head is in that space where I just need to like let whatever emotions I'm going through out on a canvas. So like I have to stop everything right then and there, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go work, because I have to get all of this out. And then there's other times where I just want to like play. I think my favorite layers when it comes to creating in a traditional sense are the first layers, because especially when I work with really big canvases, or like I do a lot of like drippy artwork. It's fun because I don't like, I'm genuine when I tell people this, is like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just play around with it. Like, I'm literally just playing, and it makes me, it like brings out the fun, like 5-year-old in me, where I get to be a kid and I'm like throwing paint, I'm slinging it, and I don't know which way I'm gonna go with it. Like, it's just fun. But I really enjoy doing that as like a nice starter, is just playing around with it, seeing what comes out. And sometimes I'll have like a very vague idea for a piece, and through the little like manipulation of the drips, they start to kind of like, it's almost like the picture reveals itself. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, okay. I agree. Like, I understand that perfectly. Like, I'm just like, I started like, cause like, I know a lot of people go to pieces just they plan it out and they process it first. They scale it out or something. I just go at it.
Yeah. And I have let me tell you, I have all the respect in the world for people who like do the grid or do like the golden ratio.
Yes.
Which, for those of you who don't know about the grid and the golden ratio, basically, I don't know what the numbers are. The golden ratio is like a mathematical equation to art, and the perfect, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, perfectly symmetrical art. I am not good at that. I have tried doing the grid where you like paint section by section, and to me that has always felt too paint by numbers.
Yeah.
To me. And I would rather just throw some paint on there, splatter some stuff around, and just see what happens. Like, that's my favorite thing to do.
I feel that, but like I used the grid beforehand. It's whenever I want to work on, like, whenever I have to like do like a really big project, and I'm like, I don't want to have the wrong angle on something, so like I would just like plan it out like just a little bit, and just like okay, for like the most difficult part, I'll plan it out, and everything else I'm like, it'll look good.
It'll just like come in place. My favorite, I actually have it with me. My favorite thing to combat having to do math, because I hate math, is this thing right here. This is called a scale tool, and basically one side you measure whatever it is that you're wanting to draw, and the other side, depending on like how big you want it, scales it out to a different size. This is my favorite tool in the entire world. I love this thing so much because I'm really bad at well, not as bad as I used to be. I used to be really bad at doing proportions or measuring things out like accurately. Like, I can eyeball it, but usually something's a little bit off. This is my best friend now.
I say like can I do that?
Yeah.
I was like,
and they have bigger ones too, but like I could only find a small one because that was one of the tools that I was using during school, going to the Milan Art Institute and doing that program. Is they told me about they do videos and they tell you about a scale tool, and I was like, oh my god, it was one of those that I didn't even know it existed. It changed my life.
But like, I didn't know it existed. I was in like, this would have helped so much in architecture school.
Right?
Like, what the heck? I was just like, what the heck?
It's like, why did you not? Why did no one tell it? Why are we not funding this?
Let's say Art Institute of Indianapolis. Explain why I didn't have one of them. You gave me everything else. I have 20 T-squares from you guys. Still, to this day, I don't use any of them. But I have all 20 you guys gave me in every size. But I never got one of these. I am upset.
It changed my life. Cool fucking thing. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I had to share a scale tool with you.
New projects, I guess.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about like the golden ratio and everything. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that like for people who aren't as familiar with with art as we are, that I like explain certain things. I'm like, oh right, some people may not know what that is.
I know, like I'll be throwing it on the screen and stuff, like back and forth. Like if we don't have video stuff, I'll literally just go get stock videos, just toss it like left and right of just random stuff. I was like, it's gonna be just a really hectic, like due to the fact that I literally learned editing last week. in 2 days. So this is gonna be fun to see how it goes. I literally learned it on the like I was on the plane to Virginia Beach. I started learning it, and then I learned it after I set up my table at the convention. So like I was literally like,
what? Oh, hold on, video editing?
Yes.
Oh, video editing's not that bad.
And it's
just time consuming.
Yes, but like I got it. I think I got it down. I just needed to like learn the software pretty much.
Yeah,
so just, like,
yeah, because each software, depending on the software you use, most of them are fairly consistent in like your main tools, like slicing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like there's variations to it. Like I've known some editing software to call it splicing, and others call it slicing, and then like the little icon for it is like just slightly different. So if you go from one type of editing software to another, you kind of have to almost like retrain yourself.
Yeah, but like it's kind of good because I only dabbled in editing before just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literally just like making the internet videos I didn't have voice with, so it's just like video and then just throw music over it, and then just like
that's pretty much all I ever did.
And I just put my logo just put a mask with my logo like over it, and then just like in and out, and I didn't put an intro or outro in it, so it's just like it didn't really
fade to black.
Yeah, in out, like nothing
in and
else.
out. That's it.
I'm very lazy. But
I love it. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple because like it's editing is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a lot of hard work. It's just it's very, very time consuming.
Yes.
Especially if you start doing things like putting pictures and other videos in, or if you're trying to, it's not just kind of going through and throwing music on top of it. Like you have to, depending on how invested you are. I am the kind of person that I will I will listen through it to make sure, like, do I have any issues with sound quality? Do I need to cut this out? Like, it's very time consuming.
Yeah, like I'm working on that now, and I say it's just a different mindset of like just doing stuff. Like I didn't like plan on doing editing for this series, but I was just like, I mean, it needs to get done. So
okay, hold on. Let me ask you, who did you expect to do it then?
Well, I had a guy.
It says tag along with Josh.
Well, it's like, I was just gonna be like just the face of it, and then someone else is gonna edit it, and then they send me the video, and I proof it and do that. But I was like, the editor like didn't work out, so we just like, I was like, I guess I'll just let it.
He said, I'll just do it myself. That is like the motto of an artist in general. I'll just do it myself.
Yes.
Because you are your own everything.
Yeah.
You are your own PR, you are HR, you are quality control, you are the delivery person, you ship the packages, and you also create the content, by the way.
Yeah.
On top of just creating.
Yeah. And that's like, it's kind of what
every time I'm like, I just need a secretary, like an intern secretary, because I can't really pay you. I can feed you though. I can give you so much good food. I'm really good at cooking, so that's my offer. We just need to get back to the barter system. Can't nobody pay for shit out here. Let's be real.
I say like that.
Them grocery prices are too high, and it's too hot out.
Too hot.
Anyway, what projects have you been working on? That's what you want to talk about.
Oh yeah. We already were talking about projects.
No. We were talking about you going to Virginia Beach, and then we went off and started talking about art. But hey, we're talking about art, so like that's what we're here for. So it's all right.
Like I'm mainly just working on the Slime Pack series. Which still, like, guys don't know, this is a series of a collaborative group of just artists making a brand and like advancing their own artistic skills by collaborating together.
Which I love, because I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off because I do have to say this before you forget. Before I forget, I mean.
I'll forget too. Go ahead.
Before we forget. That's one thing I'm really loving seeing change in the art community. Because in some regions, areas, places with certain people, it's still very much this mentality. But I'm seeing the change of going from competitive to collaboration
Yeah.
within the art community. So I love that this story kind of represents that, and being able to kind of see in one area all these different very unique types of artists, and we need them all. They're all important.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm better than you or anything like that. It's just we have our own style, we have our own thing. So
yeah, like
I just think that's really like a really cool message to like bring home with a story like that.
It's very like, because this story I just wanted to like make, because like art has never been like it is a job opportunity for me now. It's like I am able to make money from it, but
Right.
no one has told me that. Like
because everyone tells you that it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's just like people look at it as a hobby. People
Right.
don't really look at it to make money or
Absolutely.
do anything else. So it's just like I wanted to use this story to show off the different career paths that you can go with any level of art, and like from any style of it to begin with. Because there's just so many paths for everyone.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one thing that has always bothered me is, as a kid, it's pretty much a universal consistency where parents tell you like you can do whatever you want. Same with teachers and like your mentors. They're like, you can be anything you want to be, you can do anything you want to do. And then there's like a point where that mentality shifts.
Yeah.
And we enter into adulthood and we start being told like think realistically, or like, I don't know about you, but I definitely had people either make fun of me along the way or like question what my motives were along the way, and basically just being told like think realistically, like that's not a job. And it's like, but if I'm realistic, I'm gonna be like you in a job that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like in a job that I hate. Like everyone has different types of jobs that they like. So I'm not, gonna downplay anyone else's job, because, there are many jobs that are very important, but it's a matter of like, does that person fit in that role? And I just found myself in normal, everyday 9-to-5 jobs where like, I just didn't fit that role. And to have people on top of that, like going into a field that is very, very difficult and can at times be very competitive, you already have that on top of people, just some of the closest people not supporting you. And that baffles my mind, because I'm like, hold on, what? We went from you can do and be anything as you want to be to like be realistic. I'm like, yeah, I need to be realistic in the meantime, but why not be a little crazy while I'm at it?
Yeah, like
I love that it's a collaboration of different type of artists coming together and like just trying to make it, essentially.
Yeah, like because in the story it's like I did it in like the point where it's like I guess it's the easiest to get like it's the easiest to like just like have it's in the manga style. So as a manga style, you want to like have the characters all be like at a younger age. So I put them at like freshmen at college, because then like they can plan out like whatever they want to do and not like have to worry about the
right
like the crippling stuff, like real life,
like the real life crippling debt.
Yes.
Not yet anyway, but
yes.
That's also a really good age to start them, because like depending on how far you want to go, like if you're doing like more stories and more books of this story, you get to kind of see the journey over time, and that's going to be really fun too, because seeing them at a young age, especially us being the age that we are, we can kind of relate to that, like just starting out, just trying to figure it out. And it may also just not only encourage other artists to like follow their own path, but it might just help give them like next steps with these characters of like, okay, like what does this person do, like maybe I should try that. So I think it's really cool that you started it at a younger age too. I think it's more relatable.
And I thought it'd be fun, because like if doing it at the college age, they can all be in a college dorm at the same time,
right?
So it's like in a big college, like I guess group house, or like I guess it's like a big housing situation where they all live together.
Yeah.
Because then they can like constantly be working on projects all throughout the day.
Right.
And then like just in between classes stuff that I like have
like a fraternity house without the frat.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically that.
Yeah.
It's just like just a whole bunch of like just artists just living under his roof. So like I'm in this story myself. I'm the person that like putting all this together and getting them all to meet each other. But I just like, cause I always wanted to do something like this, because I was like, like in my head, like I was like, it'd been so cool to be like be in college, like cause I was in a dorm with other artists, like we had in a college apartment. I was like, if we had like a big group,
house,
a big house of just like all these like a
that'd
whole
be
bunch
so
of,
cool.
cause like I was in interior design and architecture.
Right.
My roommate was a graphic designer, and then the other two people like in the other two rooms were a culinary and then a fashion designer.
And that's so cool too, because like having all those different people live under the same roof, like you get fed really well. You can go to your roommate and be like, hey, does this look good? Should I be wearing this? Like it's just
like,
so cool.
And like it was just like it's really fun. And then like we all like got along with each other. We all like from different like backgrounds and crowds and stuff.
Right.
We all just like me and Anthony, like the guy who I shared a room with, we were like tight. We were literally like this. Like he was big in the game, he was big in the music, he was big into like a whole bunch of stuff. I literally just got out of got from like here where I was like doing sports. I was like I just like at this time I was just my hands were being just got just being repaired from like the sports injuries that I had in high school. Like I literally went from high school straight to there, and it was just like I was like in the still mindset of being a jock and like always partying and stuff. And then I met like these guys, so it's just like we all just clicked like right together.
Right.
Like I remember like Skylar, funniest guy ever. He was always like partying. He was always just like ready. Like we was always just like, oh, we had a good time. It was really fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun. Honestly, like I would love to be, and that's why sometimes I'll like invite other like creative people to my house, and then we will just sit in my studio and create together. And I'm like, hey, like don't mind me if I go off into a world of my own. It's not, I'm not trying to be rude. I get into my own zone, and everything else does not exist.
Yeah, and okay, crap. I was like getting farther and farther.
Are you good?
Oh yeah, like I was like, wait, where was I go? Like I was literally just about to just keep going. I was like, oh yeah, I'm talking about the story, but I just wanted to like make a story that just shows like a whole bunch of artists and like going to like different ways they can like or real life stories, because like just because like in placing in college too gives me the opportunity to show off because I know because three of them of the characters in this story are also doing sports to pay for their like schooling at life. So I can like show off that. Like I know there's like a basketball player that's also wants to be an animator.
Yeah, in high school I had one of our flautists was also a cheerleader. So like she would get done with her performance and basically hand off her flute to someone, and she would go back to cheering, and she was like one of the sweetest, nicest people I ever met. I remember her. I think her name was Mary. She was so sweet. But yeah, so I love that. I love that from all angles. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where that goes.
And then because there's also there's a cake decorator that's also she's also trying to get a band together, because she never got a chance to do to play music with anybody. She was always like she was more the antisocial kid in high school, and then she goes to college, and she's trying to push herself to be like more open with people, and just like she's like I want to be a band member, and she's going to learn to she knows drums and guitar, so she's like gonna go back and forth playing those, just because she doesn't know where the other people are at, and then she's gonna meet up with a bassist that is also does guitar. She's gonna meet up someone who's a piano prodigy. And but she's also she also just comes in the band and does the keyboard work and just on the soundboard, and then they meet another girl that also plays the drums. So then she's like, oh, I can do it. I can get you guys together. We can do that. And they later on find a singer, just get that going.
That's really
cool.
So
it's just they just slowly build up that as she's also doing the culinary program at that school. So that's one
if you don't know, if y'all don't know, that's a lot. That is a lot going on for a person. That is so much energy and time and dedication.
I love writing for that character, because having that having her as the she's the one character that I have as the antisocial one that is just trying to push herself to be social, and it's like really having fun with that character writing. Every other character is like kind of open, and they like have to talk to people because like there's two artists that like are professional, like they like just got out of high school, but they already like been in like multiple galleries. They're like well known and like
so they have to do the talking. And,
so like there's like I wanted to like make it seem like they like they are more like well versed in communicating with people and like more good and pleasantries, and they already have to do that. But I want to have other characters in this that are like more shy. They haven't had the experience of doing all these different things that the other dudes like. I want to have this show off different levels of people because there's like all the different type of artists out there. I know like I have to deal with have to talk to people all the time about either going like people that like tell people about the stories I do or going to conventions and
and that takes a lot of energy out of you because I have to do the same thing, you know, gallery shows and like you said, going to conventions, and you talk to a tremendous amount of people, and that can be very taxing. Like I said earlier, you know, sometimes after a convention, I will like just not socialize with anyone for like 2 days straight.
Yes.
I basically just fall off the face of the earth to the point where friends are like, "Hey, just checking in. You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just needed to like detox from the world."
Understandable.
Which is not a bad thing. Like I always, when I go to conventions, I have a great time. I have fun, but it's just a lot energy wise.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm that kind of person where I wouldn't say I have to like force myself to socialize. It's just afterwards I don't want to socialize with anyone, so I need everyone to leave me alone.
Understandable. That's what my art dungeon is for.
Yes, exactly. And then I'll come eventually, give me a few days, I'll come back out of my shell and I'll be okay again, and then I'll socialize, and then I'll become a hermit again. And it's just this cycle of going from extrovert to introvert, because it just, after a while, it takes too much on you.
Understandable.
You got a whole like freaking story of what you're working
on.
Oh,
that's just one of 5 stories I'm working on.
Oh my gosh.
Other ones I'm not really like. I have like the main parts fleshed out, not the intro. Starting a story is very hard, but this one has been a passion project. Ever since I was in college and like living in that dorm, I was like, that would be so fun. And like this dorm, like this one, like it's like a big, well, I guess artist house. I guess that's the best way to say about it. It's like the co-ed. There's a whole bunch of like people that are like that just want to have like just real life experiences and just like they just like go back and forth just collaborating on different projects. So like a couple of them are going to be like working on a like a comic book at a time, just because they're not like, because they're like, I guess it's like 2 of the girls that are like in this group and they're like not in the band. So they're just like honestly, I guess we can do something together, and they're just like doing projects around. The 2 guys are they're in the animation program. So they just like they go back and forth working on projects together. They help out like the one that's not doing any sports is helping out the one that is in basketball. So it's just like it like helps him out, like passes him his notes just because it's wanted to like just show off stuff. Like they're like 2 of the only people that are in the same class. And then there's another chef that is like in her like 2nd or 3rd year, and she's helping out the girl that wants to start the band. And
How many people are in this house?
About 12.
12 people?
Yeah.
How many rooms are in this house?
About 12.
This is a mansion. You have created a mansion for artists.
Well, it's basically a full dorm, but with like to me. I mean, basically, honestly. I get to draw the house. I'm using my.
He said I get to draw my house.
So I'm not limited to nothing. It doesn't have to be like it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be nice. You're gonna have a full-on piano, like a grand piano in the base.
All right. So here's my question, because I just from a logistical and economic side of it, I have to know: is this college paying for this dorm house mansion?
Oh no, this is like like I told you that I'm in the story. I am the person who has got these.
Are you the benefactor?
I am the benefactor. I'm the benefactor. I'm getting all this stuff put together. I mean, I'm writing the story, so I might as well be. I'm the one.
He said, if I can't be rich in real life, I might as well be rich in fake life.
That's my goal. I am going to make this happen. I'm going to
Let me tell you, I feel that energy on such a level because I tell people all the time, like, you don't understand. Like, I wholeheartedly and 1000% plan for my artwork to be in museums and galleries across the globe.
Yes.
Like, this will happen. I will be in history books. There's no doubt about it. And people think I'm crazy.
Honestly,
people think I'm crazy, and it's like, no, you have no idea what I'm capable of because I have no idea what I'm capable of. Yes. But let's fucking find out.
Yes, I don't either, but it's just like
I love that. I love that you're the benefactor in your own story.
Well, yes. I'm making all these things, like I'm writing all this stuff to make it happen. So I was just like, I might as well be the person who's doing this.
Right, might as well.
I was just like,
it's
going to be so much fun, and then I'm gonna be in the story, and they're gonna I'm gonna tell them I was like, oh, you guys should do this, and just because I know how artists think, when someone else tells them something, they're like, no, we're not. Mm-hmm. We're actually gonna do this instead. They're like, oh, okay, and I just make a story about them just going off and doing whatever they want to do because they're a group of artists that are just for 18 to 22 year olds. They're not gonna just listen to an adult figure.
Oh no, God no.
So I thought it would just be fun to there's also a graffiti.
No, I'm in my 30s and I don't fucking listen to people.
Yes.
We wouldn't be here if I listened to people. Yeah. Let's be real.
It's just so I thought it would just be fun to have there's a graffiti artist that is also doing tattooing and detailing on cars and stuff. So she's in there. She's and she does she'll randomly go out and do graffiti. She gets one of the gallery artists to do stuff with her. It's oh yeah, I got this project, this mural I'm working on. You want to help me? It's oh so sure, cool. I love awesome. Group projects. And then she gets him to go do graffiti, and he's just wait a minute.
Oh my God, do you know what that reminds me of? I don't know why, but it just kind of reminded me faintly of Big Hero 6, of all of these brilliant fucking scientists just hanging out in the same space and working together. I would love that in real life. I'm not gonna lie, that would be so cool because I feel like I'm the kind of artist that though I get tired of hanging out with this sounds weird, normal people. But as an artist, when you hang out with other chill artists and we're all just kind of doing our own thing, it's chill and yet it's still somehow re-energizing for me.
Yeah.
Because I have the space and time to create, but I also get to just kind of hang out with other creative people, and I feel that helps, if anything, keep you more on track to continue creating. Because let's be honest, sometimes when we're alone in our own house, you have to find the motivation to create every once in a while. But to have other people there, it kind of holds you accountable.
Yeah, but I was just thinking of that was actually kind of something I did with another group called Art Force 5000. We would meet up once every week, I think it was Wednesday nights. We'd go to Washington Square Mall, and we would just do art and just talk about projects we're doing.
That's what we did. There was a group of us that it was Alexa Martin, I believe is her last name, but she started Art Jam a year and a half ago, and it started out with just a few of us coming together over at Haney's Corner once a month, and we would all just bring our projects out there and just chill together and work on stuff, and then it kind of grew into a vendor event, and after a while I just think that they couldn't fund it anymore, which really sucks.
Oh yeah.
So they had to shut it down, but I would still even if we can't make it an actual vendor event, I would still love to just bring it back in the sense that it's just a bunch of artists getting together, because maybe that's just what it needed to stay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that, but I would love to do that more with other artists.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you also just need to get out of the house and create. Creating inside is great and it's fun and everything, but it also can be very lonely, I feel especially when you're in the same rooms looking at the same stuff, and sometimes you don't even get to appreciate your own room because you're so focused on whatever it is you're working on. I always like to do like a change of scenery. So whenever I have to work on watercolor stuff, that's what I'm working on right now. I brought mine with me today as well, but it's like halfway done. Not even halfway, it's like a quarter of the way done. But I like to take watercolor with me on the go, and like I'll go create at the pool.
Yeah.
I went to Burdett and just taken all my art stuff with me and just painted by the pool. I mean, why not? People read by the pool, and like if the paper gets wet, it's okay. It's watercolor.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine.
But I did a couple years ago take a charcoal piece out there. Let me tell you, never got any water on it. The many times, and it was a big piece too. It was a cityscape. Like the piece itself wasn't big, but the paper that it was on was big. It was like I want to say like 18 by 20.
Okay.
but the actual like piece itself was much smaller. That was a terrible idea. I was very lucky that it never got any water on. I was very surprised too. It looks great. Don't you laugh at me?
it's just so crazy. Like I don't even bring paint brushes there. You brought charcoal, something that could easily be damaged with water.
Absolutely, I did. I'm that fucker. I fucked around. I found out that I could make it work.
Hey,
you can't tell me I can't.
I mean, I am happy
right?
that it worked out for you. It's just like
it was a beautiful piece too. I still have it in my house. I need to sell it because it needs to get out of my house because I don't. It's one of those pieces. I love it. It's beautiful. I love working. It's one of those that when you look at it, it's like, holy shit, like I did that. Sorry. I did that. I keep hitting my mics today. It's almost unbelievable that I did it, but I had to do it for one of my assignments for school. And I don't know why we have to have so many windows. Like just when you're drawing a cityscape, there's so many windows. Never again will I draw a cityscape in charcoal. But yeah, like I'll take watercolor to like a coffee shop and spend several hours in a coffee shop, and sometimes I feel like I get more work done almost.
Honestly, yeah. Like it's like weird. Like coffee shops are probably like one of the best places to be productive.
Yeah, because like you can be around people without having to interact with people.
Yeah.
And it's fun because occasionally you will get someone, I don't know about you, but I usually get someone who will come up and be like, oh my gosh, I love your work and everything like that. And you get used to it after a while. It's just one of those that like you thank them and then you go back to creating because that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, it's like.
But like I also can't be rude because like I'm out in public. What do I expect? You know, I can't be mad about that. But sorry, it threw me off.
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of things myself. I'm working on this wolf watercolor piece. I originally did a fox as a commission for one of my collectors, and then I decided I wanted to do just a whole like animal series that is kind of like this. So I took to the internet and asked my fans' opinions of what animals do you think I should do next, and the one who gave me the commission to do the fox gave me a whole list of animals. So like I'm good for like probably the next year almost on these pieces. But I'm also working on like smaller pieces for my watercolor classes and doing a little bit more simple stuff so I can teach it in like a 1 hour time frame or 1.5 hour depending on what the piece is. But and then other than that, I'm working on how explicit are we allowed to be on this podcast?
I mean,
I'm not gonna like get into some crazy shit, but like I'm an emotional artist, so some of the darker stuff comes out, and I didn't know if like I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. This is your show. I'm just along for the ride.
I mean,
it's tag along with Josh. I'll tag along with Bree. Bree is tagging along.
I mean, go for it. I will figure out if it's. I'll cut it later. If it's
I mean, that's fair. I'm not gonna get into details, but I am working on a series involving mental health. I'm also kind of working on it's called my dark side. I'm going to call it my dark side collection.
Okay.
But it's a combination of like healing from trauma and PTSD, and there's a few pieces that I'm going to be putting into hopefully a show that I want to put together here at the gallery. And then there's also talking about some heavier things like suicide, abuse, stuff like that. So those are the kinds of pieces that I'm working on. I'm getting more into very monochromatic style, not using a ton of different colors. And in the colors that I do use, they're very like minimalized compared to my normal work, which is like a whole Lisa Frank rainbow of color. Oh man, Lisa Frank was one of my favorite artists growing up. But like there is a piece I'm working on right now, which I should have brought with me because it would have been the perfect size. It's not very big. But it's a I can't decide if I want to call it the stages or faces of grief, but it's like this acrylic background, and it's your 3 primary colors. It goes from blue to red to yellow, and I put, once that dried, charcoal on top because again I like to do things that even in the art world are not normal. Like taking charcoal to the pool.
That's fine.
But I'm putting charcoal on top of acrylic because I just really love, and I did my like signature little drippy drips.
Yeah.
But I kind of like how the directional, because I play with a lot of like directional painting. I like how that kind of flows with the charcoal on top of it. So I'm working on that piece right now. Yeah, so a lot of you go away. This fly won't leave me alone. But yeah, I'm working a lot on a lot of like heavier stuff right now. So that's what I'm working on. You had a whole he had a whole story. I didn't know he was gonna. I mean, it's fair because it is technically a story, but like I didn't know he was gonna have a whole story.
Ooh, like this is just the one. You should see that.
And this is just one. I'm like, I was not prepared. I brought like one of my pieces. I didn't even bring my cool pieces. Like this is a cool piece, but this isn't my coolest stuff.
I mean, we can show that on screen. Just go, bam, tear.
Oh, it's true. I can just send you the pictures, can't I?
I can add that in.
Well, I didn't know if you got my messages because you didn't answer me.
Hey, I was
very upset about that.
I barely looked at my phone. I read the message, and then I got.
You read it, and then you're like, okay, cool. Log that away.
Locked in. Like, I'm good.
I do that too.
I'm bad at like messaging back, so just constantly just assume that I read it.
I'm so yeah. Because sometimes it's either okay, I'll get back to it later, and then you never get back to it later because you forget, or you think that you have in fact replied to them because it's either in your brain or it's actually been typed out and you've never pressed send.
Oh, yeah, I do that a lot too.
All the time.
I don't worry. Turn my phone off. It's like but honestly, you like if I only like I'll get back to you if it is something bad. Or if it's something like well, usually something bad happened. If you don't hear from me, everything's good. If you don't hear from me,
I'm gonna start telling my people that because I swear to God that is so true. Like if you don't hear from me, I'm good. Yeah. Like if you hear from me, something's wrong.
Yeah, like I never contact if anyone knows me like on a personal level, I usually do not get back to you unless something is wrong. Yeah. Like if someone's like, oh,
you're just as bad as
I'm
me.
looking, I'm like, oh, like have you seen this? Like no, I'm looking, but I would look for it. But it's just like, oh, oh yeah, like how was the event? 2 days later, it was good. I forgot to send it. Yeah. Like if something like unless it's like I look at my phone, so I'm usually drawing constantly, just like if I'm going to go on the iPad. But I'm just like if I look at my phone and the notification shows up, and just if it's like something that is like bad, I'll respond to it right away. But if it's something that is just like good or a pleasantry, I'll get back to that.
That's how I am because I'm in a few group chats with people for various things, mostly for like gaming. Because my my friend group meets virtually like weekly online for our D&D group. And so like if my friends have stuff going on in their life, like I'll like mentally acknowledge it, and then I'm like, okay, when I come back to actual game, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about this. I saw that you said this and this and this and this and this in the chat. Sorry I didn't reply. My life is chaotic. But I just know that I am kind of up to date with what's going on. Like I try to stay up to date, but it's more mentally instead of replying. I'm really bad about that. I am the same way.
Honestly, like it's just become like a problem. Honestly, like I don't see it as a problem, but I know it is. Down to the fact that
I see it as a problem.
But I know Billy gets on to me. My mom gets on me.
Hold, pause, time out, flag on the play. Billy gets on to you?
Yes.
No. He is no longer allowed to do that, and here's why. That man in there usually takes 3 or 4 days to get back to me. Sometimes I don't hear from him at all. So that is the pot calling the kettle black. And I will tell him too. Other than that, I think those are the projects we're working on. So, do you want to maybe wrap this one up? Because it's... Oh, we are at an hour. I told you we were going to have longer episodes. I told you we were.
That's fine.
But again, we can cut it up, so now we have more content.
Right.
Almost knocked that over.
I was like, actually still was going to add in Billy's part after this. So,
well, yeah, but we can do it. That can be a separate one, or are you just going to record the whole time?
I don't know. I'm going to cut down, get Billy, and then we're just going to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're cutting this one. We're done with this one. That's what I meant.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I guess like that would be that'd be the part of that.
That would be the end. You said you want to do an intro. I need you to get it together, sir.
That's good.
Bye. You didn't say bye. You didn't go out.
Because they're not gonna like see this part. This is gonna like we already cut.